Has a new phase started when it comes to the internet computer? Are they now all in when it comes to their focus in regard to AI, at least when it comes to the case of Dfinity? Seems like that to me. Now, I'll explain why in today's video, even though nothing I say is financial advice, and even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything, this is just my personal opinion, perspective, and outlook when it comes to this. But did you know that some people have been noticing that when it comes to X, Dfinity, in terms of their profile, right, in terms of their cover photo, it clearly says Sovereign Frontier Clouds for AI that builds. So it kind of showcases that now they want people to know that, hey, when you take a look at their computer, they want people to know that it indeed is focused when it comes to AI. Very smart move. I think this, if anything, indicates a new phase, a new start. Now, they didn't just recently change this photo, but it seemed kind of recent to some people because some people have just been starting to notice this. But again, I think this, if anything, showcases that not only are they all in when it comes to their focus in regard to AI, but now their new phase, so to speak, is really being centered around AI. Nothing wrong with that. Because when I first believed in the internet computer, it didn't have this strong narrative when it comes to AI. It just didn't. But now it does. And I think they're taking a page out of another project's book. What do I mean by that? Take a look at NEAR, or should I say the NEAR protocol. When I first believed in it, I didn't hear anything when it comes to AI. But then suddenly NEAR kept saying, oh, we're focused on AI and all this. And eventually people started to view NEAR as a project that's focused on AI. Even Grayscale thinks about NEAR in a high regard in regard to AI, because it's decentralized AI fund. When it comes to Grayscale, the largest thing that makes up that fund is NEAR, like in terms of the percentage. Could you imagine that? Through marketing, through constantly saying they're focused on AI, and actually through building, NEAR has transformed itself to this really amazing project that is now known for AI. And when it comes to Dfinity, it seems like they're taking a page out of their book and doing the exact same thing, which I don't think there's anything wrong with. That is really fantastic in my opinion. 2 thumbs up for me. This is legendary stuff right here, what I'm seeing. Now, people may be thinking, but yeah, Dfinity, they've been saying they're focused on AI for quite a while now. True, but now, because they made it their, cover photo, which they've done for some time now, but again, some people just started noticing that. But again, through that, they want people to know, hey, when you take a look at this, it is actually focused on AI. It's like, Shake Shack, one of my favorite restaurants of all time. When I just take a look at it, the picture of the logo is a burger, right? It's like kind of animated like that, sort of. But then when I see that, I think, oh wow, it is a burger. It's like a place to eat burgers. So when it comes to this, it's kind of no different. This is what I like seeing when it comes to Dfinity. Because it's not like they're just doing this for fun. It's not like it's just a marketing gimmick for hype. That's not true. They have something called Caffeine AI, and it's already in version 3. It's a self-writing apps platform. I've seen people make video games when it comes, to that. I've seen people make random apps I've never even heard of. This is the thing, right? Instead of me learning Python, C++, and all this, or even learn Motoko, which is a programming language basically created by Dfinity, instead of me doing all of that, I don't need to learn all that to start building on the internet computer. You know what? Caffeine AI is right there, Like, I don't even need to know all these programming languages anymore. This is how kind of legendary it is. Not to mention, we take a look at OIC version 2. They did a pretty okay job at that. Not to mention, now Dfinity really focused on the cloud market, a market that is worth around $1 trillion currently, and they're trying to change the market. They're trying to revolutionize it through something called cloud engines. So this is all very legendary stuff that Dfinity is doing. I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but I'm just saying, from what they're doing so far, it's been amazing progress, in my opinion, fundamentally. Not in terms of the price charts, but in terms of the fundamentals, it's been amazing progress. Let me just ask you this question, right? Do you think the internet computer is better today, right now in 2026, or back in 2024? Now, some people might tell me, oh, 2024, ICP was almost at $19. They may say that. But I asked them this, was there Caffeine AI version 3 back then? No, there wasn't. Was there OEC version 2 back then? No, there wasn't. Furthermore, was the concept of cloud engines that popular back then when compared to right now? Of course not. It's better right now. So the thing is, yeah, sure. Sometimes people like to say, oh, but the price was higher back then, but it doesn't mean that the fundamentals are better back then. It's actually not. If anything, they have been improving, yet it's becoming cheaper, which doesn't make logical sense actually when it comes to things in real life. Because if, let's say, shoes got a lot better, or let's say a phone got better, it usually doesn't become cheaper. It usually, in some cases, becomes more expensive, right? But when it comes to this space, it sometimes operates in a different way, in a sense where, you know what? Sometimes the market is not doing good, so the project's affected, but the fundamentals sometimes may be improving. Sometimes we don't take that into consideration. Even though ICP's at around, almost $2.40, yeah, sure, it's been up almost 3%, but again, I just think it's a lot better than before. If anything, if ICP was able to reach almost $19 back in 2024, imagine what it could reach maybe moving forward if, let's say, the market conditions became a lot better, but now with the improved fundamentals. If it exceeded maybe $19, wouldn't surprise me at all. However, does it really even need to exceed $19? Nah, not really in my opinion, because we're over 6 times lower than that. Bitcoin is not 6 times lower than its peak in 2024. It just isn't. It would have to go way lower actually for that to happen, but ICP doesn't. You know what I mean? So when it comes to ICP, it's kind of hypothetically a little bit low in my opinion, which I don't find to be a bad thing, because sometimes the lower something is to a floor, the farther away the journey is to the hypothetical ceiling in some cases. And I'm not joking. Why do I think it's close to the floor? Because it's all-time low. I'm not joking. Again, right? We're actually a little bit close to that. The all-time low when it comes to ICP is $1.98. We're $2.37 currently. We're just 39 cents higher than its all-time low. That's not that much. We're literally so close to the all-time low right now. So it's so close to the historical floor. You know what I mean, right? So when people like to say, oh, how do you know that this is close to the floor? Well, I won't be able to know the exact floor for sure, but one thing I do know though is that it's very close to its historical all-time low, which means that that was the lowest it's ever been in the history of its existence, right? The lowest ICP has been in the history of its existence is $1.98. We're $2.37. We're just 39 cents higher than that. You know what I mean? So again, when people like to say, oh, it's not close to its historical floor. Well, if we assume that $1.98, its all-time low, is its historical floor, then yeah, it is actually really close to its all-time low. That's the thing. Or close to the floor, I should say. So when it comes to the internet computer as of right now, I don't mind the dip. That's the thing. Some people don't like the dip, but I like the dip. I like the dip when it comes to my chicken tenders, and I also like it here. But that is just my perspective currently. I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but I'll be sure to make more updates when it comes to ICP moving forward.